Hello and welcome to episode 223. It's a big number. It might even have taken me two times to get that right. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Veeam Community Recap. I'm Rick Vanover, the Rickatron, joined by my co-conspirator in all things community, Madalena. Good afternoon, Maddie.
Good day, Rick, and hello, community. Yeah, it's indeed 223, almost made it 2000 in here. But yeah, can you believe it? It's just like so many episodes of goodness from our community. It's inspiring, to be honest.
It,
And
it is. And it's
what
Veeam on
is,
tour. Veeam on tour
yeah,
season. You go to a Veeam on tour, Maddie. I'm sure this happens to you. I love the videos. People come up and tell you that. So
yeah, absolutely.
we do it for the viewers for sure.
They might not recognize me anymore, because I changed the color
Uh,
of the hair from, every 6 months. So people might be like, I don't know, but I might know you, I might not know you. It's easier
well,
for you, right?
possibly, but walking around with that Alfred shirt, that'll definitely get them thinking, wait, I know this thing. I know you maybe. So it's good stuff.
Yeah, that's for sure.
All right, we've got a lot to cover. Just going to tell you now, we're breaking the rules. So let's jump into it. We're going to be first up with Sir Michael Paul with talking about Veeam Data Cloud for Microsoft 365. I love these updates that he's doing, Maddie, but what caught your eye on this one?
Well, first of all, we haven't had him in the recap for a while. I think we did mention when you were on vacation, we mentioned him and him with their series of the VDC, but more VDC goodness in here. Some feature updates from Michael Paul, and this is an overview of the first half of the year. And he's starting with a new feature for Outlook prioritized data restoration for multiple mailboxes. He says, like, when you perform a bulk restoration, you can prioritize the most recent emails within these emails to be restored first. So that's pretty cool. Also, you can choose the number of days to prioritize. So it gets pretty granular in there. So that's a pretty cool feature. And then, of course, Michael Paul is going to give more details on it. So definitely watch the video. Another cool thing that Michael Paul is touching on is the reporting quality of life improvements, the grouping and sorting of the data, plus new reports. One of which he says that's his favorite, the restore activity report that gets very granular, and he's explaining again in more detail. Just watch the video if you are interested in finding out more. Another thing that I really like in there is the restoration quality of life improvements. And it has enhanced search capabilities, different ways of restoring, but also added an autocomplete feature. Absolutely great, this one. And last but not least is Veeam has launched the newly unified interface for VDC Plus, the VDC cloud workloads, Entra ID. We've been talking about it quite a lot, and Salesforce. I believe we mentioned it briefly at some point as well. And Michael Paul is promising to come back with another video talking more in detail about the new products and the UI. So make sure you are following the Cloud City here and the Community Hub. Oh, actually, he didn't put it in the Cloud City. He put it in the blogs and podcast. Okay,
Mm.
cool. I think it could be easily in the Cloud City, right?
Well, let's do it. Let's move it. Let's put it in there. That's one of the things we can do as the admin. I'll do that in the background while we're talking. But
Yeah.
Michael Paul, thank you so much for coming back with this Veeam Data Cloud, and we're happy to feature that first up. And yeah, the unified ID or unified UI experience, that's one of the new things that Salesforce and Entra are already in. And then when we talk about Microsoft 365, it's going to move into that. And net new environments, by the way, are already going in there. So that's really, really cool stuff. So super good to have. I love these quick hit type of things, Michael and others. So definitely appreciate you doing that. Now watch this, Maddie. I did it in the background. Now
Oh, wow.
this could be Cloud City. I did it. Look at that. I put it in Cloud City. Look at that.
Awesome.
Look, real time while we're recording. Thank you,
That's
Michael Paul.
amazing.
Good to call your name here again. Fantastic. All right.
Totally.
Next up is Chris McDonald. We've been calling his name a lot, right? And he's talking about some scopes in the orchestrator. What caught your eye here, Maddie?
Yeah, pretty good stuff that Chris is sharing. He's on top of things, I would say. But yeah, in this case, he's discussing how the granularity of scopes and roles in Veeam Recovery Orchestrator is supporting like a more secure recovery operation. So I really like this one. And he's going over a few things in here, like explaining what roles and scopes are in VRO, and then he's trying to give us like an overview of the two scopes, the default scope and all scopes, then going over the three roles: administrator that has the full control, the plan author that can create edit plans, not run them though, and the operator that can execute test plans but not change them. And then he's moving on and he's discussing how to set up and use scopes effectively. He's giving us two real world cases for scopes. So definitely, I advise you to read the full article. I will not really go over all, but the conclusion in here is, the scopes and roles feature helps teams to manage their own recovery plans with more precision. Whether you're kind of splitting it by site or by the tech stack or the business unit, however you want it. And, if you think about, it's also a great way to even support the principle of least privilege, and because it just gives the teams just enough access to do their job, but right, nothing more. And we know how important is that in security. And yeah, one more thing I wanted to mention in here. uh, uh, VRO, we have now 7.21 that was released. Was it like 2 weeks ago? Is it? Or a
Well,
few weeks
it's kind of
ago?
tricky because we get notified when it leaves QA, but then when it's up and out on the website, you never know. But
Yeah.
yeah, we had Henry, one of our interns. We're going to talk more about interns here in a second. But Henry had a nice write up, and just a reminder to everyone: if you don't know, we have this product update section, which kind of rolls through the product updates as they come through. And Henry had the one for Orchestrator.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Harry, and thank you all the interns that are actually sharing, because all four of them in product strategy, they kind of wrote some good articles in different parts, categories of the community hub. So great job, and yeah, great to have you. And this is the reason we are breaking the rule today,
Mm,
but we'll talk about it later.
indeed. All right, we're going to keep going because we got a lot to cover. And next up is a guy named Jeff. And this guy named Jeff is talking about the Cloud Native show that they have co-conspired with Michael Cade about a cloud native topic of
Mhm.
Podman play. Talk to me, Maddie. What is this?
Well, first of all, I think it's a great initiative from Michael, Kate from our team, and Jeff. This cloud native show is happening. I believe that's the plan, twice per month, and they're gonna just talk all things cloud, cloud native, as the show says. And the next one is going to be the end of this month. I think it's already in the events one. This is the first one that took place. And basically, what is Jeff doing in here? He enjoys so much the discussion that they had in the show. That is kind of a free discussion around, the different topics, that he decided to just share even more. So that's amazing. And here he talks about Podman PlayCube. Is basically explaining that Podman PlayCube lets you run containers directly from Kubernetes IML files. And he says, this is a game changer for developers who want to test or run multi container apps using real K8 specs locally. And it's really cool, he says, because one, it uses standards K8 AML, so that works here, works in real clusters later. You can deploy full apps, define services, handle storage, even auto build container images, which is pretty cool. And one very important thing, it's like it's CLI friendly and dev friendly, removes a lot of overhead for small scale testing or demos. And what I think Jeff is trying to really say with all that is that Podman Play Cube is kind of bridging a gap between development kind of realism and like the lightweight tooling. So if you're building it for Kubernetes, this will let you do a prototype and just do it locally, but with the same IML, your ops team will eventually be able to do it in production as well. So that's actually pretty cool. And he says, like, this makes it very good for devs, for home labbers, or anyone who's basically curious about how close to production you can get without even touching a cluster. So I think it's good to go and watch the full show that Michael and Jeff had. It was an hour. It's on, I think it's on Michael's YouTube, if I'm not mistaken. I think you can still access it. Maybe it's in Kubernetes Corner. If there should be a link. I'm sure either Michael or Jeff shared it in there. And then go more deep into this subject as well, reading Jeff's article, but pretty
And
good.
massive reward at the end. I spent so much of my young adulthood playing this game that, if you want like a reward at the end of the tunnel for learning something new, you can play some of these games. So outstanding, Jeff. Hat tip, Michael Cade. Maybe in the notes I'll embed the replay just to kind of connect the dots here. Jeff,
That's a good idea.
keep it up. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. We said we're breaking the rule. And we're going to talk AI, a little buzzword here. And one of our other interns here at the Veeam strategy team, Grover, he kind of doubled down on something that I had mentioned. And I got a few comments on this, Maddie, but what caught your eye and incented you to break the rule here today?
Well, I wanted to break the rule, first of all, because I think they deserve recognitions because they are putting a lot of effort and I can see how much they are enjoying it and they are contributing to the community hub. And Henry, we just mentioned Henry, and I thought, let's mention Grover as well with this AI thing. Anyway, AI is such a hot topic, so let's do it anyway. So he put together these 9 minutes video, and he's pretty good with it, and he's talking about how AI has shifted from being just a cool add-on to becoming one of the pillars of the modern operations, and he's calling it the native AI generation. And he says it's not just a hype, it's a restructuring of how automation, analytics, and decision making are built. And then he's discussing how is that built in real tech and tangible benefits of it. And then further, he's talking about making systems, smarter, more resilient via AI, and how AI is enhancing reliability and the security across data protection environments. And here he hits a little bit on Veeam and Veeam technology. And then he talks about explainability in AI. And I think here is where you have some ideas and thoughts, which I think is pretty cool and a good point, not just decisions, but clarity around them. So I kind of like that. But the sort of conclusion in here, I would say, I tend to agree with it for better or worse. We are entering a new era where AI is the default platform, not an optional bolt-on. And I really encourage Grover to produce more because I watched his YouTube. This is the first one. So just do more. It's great. Just do these kind of short videos. I think they are very interesting, but very curious on hearing your thoughts, Rick, on this.
Yeah, so we're all on an AI journey, and I've come to the realization, Maddie, that this generation, Generation Z, that's coming into the workforce will be the first generation that's truly an AI native generation. And that's both an opportunity, but it's also a call to the, the peers in the workforce that we have to, up our AI currency, and then never forget things like explainability and more. And Grover also goes on to talk about one of the cool things that I saw one of the analyst firms produce. So definitely want to watch this. This is the AI marketplace from Infotech, one of the big analyst firms out there. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you, Grover. Thank you, Jada. Thank you, Double A. All four of the interns that we have on our staff this year at Veeam strategy team. And you know what? We're going to have more next year. So good stuff. All right, Vanguard blog spotlight, and it's Jim Jones going sideways on his fancy company ID blog. This is a cool one.
Yeah, as I said, we talked a lot about Entra ID. I mean, we talked because our community talked about it, so we kind of mentioned it and discussed the topic. But hey, this is a good topic, a cool hot topic. Why not talking more about it? So, what Jim is doing here is telling us why should we protect Entra ID first, and he says, well, it kind of stores essential components like the user, groups, devices, role assignments, apps registration, so on and so forth. And losing or even corrupting this data due to issues like misconfiguration, insider threats, or ransomware, God forbid, could deeply impact the identity layer. So I think it's a good enough reason, right? And then, of course, talking about, or rather, but it showing us how to configure Veeam backup and replication to protect Entra ID by putting together a very thorough demo with a lot of print screens and all. And that's kind of straightforward. It's not a lot to comment. I'm sure we kind of discussed it and we saw a few other demos on this, but very good article. And thank you, Jim, for sharing it with the larger community, and worth mentioning in the VBS today.
Yeah, indeed. It is end to end, and happy to see that 1111, the largest Veeam service provider in the world, should I say, is, talking about this. So good stuff, Jim. Happy to highlight this focused here on the Vanguard blog spotlight. Jim's one of the very first, by the way. He's one of that inaugural class all the way back to 2015. So that's 10 years of vanguarding for Jim. So rock on, Jim. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
All right. Now we're going to go through the calendar. Tomorrow, I know we're recording on a Wednesday, but just keep this in mind for the future. But South Florida, West Palm Beach, my man Paul is hosting a Veeam User Group Florida event in West Palm Beach. Man, that sounds right and nice this time of year down South Florida. But this, I think, is the first one in Florida, right, Madi?
Indeed, and Paul is actually a new VUG leader, and he's covering. Great to have him covering Florida area. And I know that this is happening already on Friday when we are going to post this recap, because today is Wednesday. But it's just good to mention it because it's the first one, and because we want to bring some recognition to Paul and people know who's Paul, and hopefully Paul is going to share some pictures and give us some overview in the VUG USA, and many more people that are in the area are going to join the second in person. So good stuff, and thank you, Paul, for taking on this role and organizing this event. Looking forward to see how everything is gonna go.
It also looks like Pure Storage is in the mix as well. So thank you, Pure, for supporting this. And Paul also is the VMware user group leader for Tallahassee, Florida. So he's got Florida covered top to bottom. So thank you, Paul. Keep up with the awesomeness. All right, next up is the Beloved Education changes. The Beloved Education team are talking about changes to the VMCE. And so we got Beeson, Shane, and your bestie Federica going to do an online event coming up.
Yeah, I think that's going to be interesting, and it kind of caught the eye of many because you can see that by the number of people that
Mhm.
registered to this event. I am actually looking forward to hear it as well, as all our community that is interested in, taking a certification, but not only because, as you could see, there are also changes with the Veeam University free. It migrated. We mentioned it already. Worth mentioning it again. It migrated to our community hub, at least temporary. We are in a lot of discussions. There's going to come more content. So for now, if you are looking for some educational resources, this is your place to be. I mean, free ones, of course. Certifications, they are still at veeam.com. You can find it there. But I would say if you're interested, just please go and attend, register for this event, because I think you going to give more clarity. And I just want to thank you, Shane and Federica, as well as Benson.
Beeson. Yeah.
Beeson, okay.
Yeah.
Beeson for doing this virtual event, and just offering a bit more clarity to all our customers and the community. So thank you for that.
Yeah, a couple points here. So Shane, superstar in our community, but then also superstar leading our Veeam Certified Engineer Study Hall. I say Federica is your bestie. I don't know. Am I overstating that? But you and her are pretty good. You and
Yeah,
her.
we are
Okay.
getting
So it's
along.
okay to call her a bestie.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then Beeson, just to tell you a little bit of history, Beeson used to work at Veeam on the education team, but he's now at Sunati. But Sunati is like our kind of exclusive content generation partner for education services. So to try to kind of close the loop, who's Sunati, why, et cetera, we've got a special business arrangement with them. And in fact, everyone who works on that, Tim Myers would be one of the other ones. They're former Veeam folks. So definitely a friendly up in the mix. But yeah, well, you know what? This will likely be on the YouTube as well. So we'll definitely highlight the replay in one of the next recaps. So thank you, Beeson, Federica, and Shane. All right, here's a special one. I know you're excited about this one. You have
Oh,
been working so hard for this one. Really good to have one of our next Women and Allies in Tech event.
yeah, you can tell it from my smile, right? From my large smile, how excited I am. Yeah. I really want everyone, to join this one, because it is important that we are supporting the three new leaders of Wake. They are three women. They are all engineers. Like, they all have, talking about VMC, they all have like a VMC certification. So they know what they're talking about, when it comes to technology, and Veeam technology. And the only other women that we have in this community that is a leader, she's a vanguard, it's Betty from Brazil. But other than that, they are the first three women that are taking the leadership for a group. So I'm very excited about that. And I do want to offer them all the support. They are very brave with that, and they are coming to talk about their journeys in getting to work in the tech industry and what that meant to them, what blockers they had on the way, and advices for other women that are just starting and trying to make a career, in this industry that, let's be honest, is still dominated by men. And we can tell it by how this community at this point looks like as well. So that's why we are kind of trying to bring more women and help them, support them, motivate them. And these three ladies, Leah and Kira and Jess, they are also very passionate about what it means community, what it means day in general. And like, they want to help build on this thing. So yeah, we have put, as you said, a lot of work to get it here. So all allies in there that are listening to us, and all women out there, join us for this awesome show. This is going to be next week. It's going to be the Thursday, the July 24th. It shows 11 a.m. for you. So that's a really good time for uh, the US, and that's a good time for Latin, that's a good time for Europe. So I think everyone, I'm not sure it's a good time for Australia and New Zealand and the APJ, but this is going to be another show that is going to go to our awesome community playlist. So you can rewatch it in there. And this is just the start. We are going to go into more of these virtual events with these three amazing ladies. Federica is supporting. I also want to mention Federica, of course. She's being amazing and supportive about this, and she's also going to moderate this. She's like, I call her sponsor. You can even tell if you go to the weight group, you can tell it says sponsor. And she's very passionate about that. She organized, well, together with other people at Veeam, but she was like a big part of the engine when it comes to the Empower program, BMC Empower program. And I think something good is going to come out of that project, maybe this year as well. Let's see. But yeah, super excited about that. You can tell from how much I talked about it.
Oh no! Hey, Maddie, this is super important to me. I fully supported this from the start of the year for our team, and honestly, I take this very seriously too. If you even look at the makeup of our team, I have built a team that is, supporting women in this tech space. So Federica, by the way, she's got a busy day because the other one that we just talked about is 90 minutes before this. So double duty. So thank you, Federica. And
No. That one is on the 22nd.
oh, 22nd. I thought it was the same day.
Yes.
You're right.
No.
Sorry. I was just checking the times briefly, but
Yeah.
what
Yes.
regardless, a busy week for
A
Federica.
busy
Let's just
week
say
for sure.
and then Kira, Jess, Leah, thank you so much as well. Kira, she's double thumbs up. I like Kira. She's good people. I haven't met Jess and Leah, but good stuff. All right, we got to go. We're moving on. All right. The directory must be updated, and I know we're going to talk about something else, but this was on our list, and I can't remember why.
This is on our list because I know we mentioned the Veeam 100 directory many times, but this is just part of, this is a page of the Veeam 100 directory where we are putting all the awesome articles that our Veeam 100 members wrote about their experience with the Veeam 100 program, with the VUG leadership as well. So you're going to get like the vanguards writing about their journeys. They've been, some of them, as you said, 10 years, some others 7, some other 5, some other 2 years, legends as well, right? So they put together some articles. If you're going to just go to, okay, you are not on the right page right now. Yeah, that's where we want to be. Community spotlight. And if you're going to go to, for instance, one of these and you're going to be read here, it's going to take you to those awesome articles where you can read about, their wonderful experience with the programs that we have here at the Veeam community. And some of them, they are just explaining what is the program. Some of them, they're going to tell you how to make it to the program. But most importantly, they're going to tell you what is their experience and what are the benefits of this program. And, because it's good that we are talking, Veeam is talking about community and the programs, but it's very different when you hear it from people that are external and they are part of this program. It's a totally different perspective, I think, and it's very important. If you are interested in being part of these programs, I think it's very important to go and read these amazing articles. And there's going to be more because there is a list of people. There is this program, Veeam Community Spotlight, that Nicola in our team is leading. And I want to congratulate Nicola for doing an excellent job with this. And, I know it's a lot of work, and, she has to put together so much information in there. And thank you for doing that, Nicola. It's a great project. And also just want to thank our community that is participating on this. So yeah, these are some amazing pictures in there.
The photo booth. Oh, it's gold. I'm sorry. That's hilarious. So
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, we should have one this year as well, right? That Veeam
Yeah,
Andres is talking
we might
about.
need to like I don't know about full-blown censor, but we might need to just moderate some of the content coming out of the photo booth. But oh, I forgot, we got one more thing. We got who's new, kinda, because there's just so much, Maddie. I told Sophia, it's like it's just going to be wild. 514? Are you kidding me?
Thing. Yeah, we haven't done it last week.
Yeah.
That's true. But again, like this is 250 per week. Like,
Well, I
wow.
think it's got to be part of it. There's our normal community organic growth, but then the temporary home of the university is definitely some inbound for sure.
Yeah, so
We'll
that's
take it.
amazing.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
Welcome everyone, and cool usernames that Sophia has picked. Big Boo Boo. Okay, that hurt. Get it? IT Geek. Technical of the day. Donkey Pad. I don't know. Juan
One
Capat. I don't know.
keypad.
Let us know
Yeah.
what that really is. And the coolest username via this completely subjective selection of Sophia is I be nerdy, one be nerdy. And I think that is actually really cool because you and I are always we're just a little nerdy here in the community. We've got we got some polish where we want, but some nerdy kind of all the time. Good stuff.
Absolutely.
A lot going on. I'm almost out of breath, Maddie.
Well, but a lot of great stuff, isn't it? Like worth sharing it. And every week is so much more difficult to pick because it's so much awesomeness in this community. So thank you, community.
Everyone, yes, thank you so much. Next week, normal circumstances for me. For
Same
you?
in here.
All right, cool. Well, we didn't get a chance, but after that, long story, got a vacation coming up, surprise. But
Yeah,
thank you so much, Maddie, for prepping all the content here this week.
my pleasure as always.
All right, everyone, thanks for watching. We will see you next week on 224.